right? So here's the address or the email address. So with us, when you're dealing with the compliance team here at home office, it's compliance@Scentsy.com, right? When you're dealing with FieldWatch, you'll know that it's FieldWatch contacting you because theirs is compliance.fw for FieldWatch@Scentsy.com. So if you could, please add that because it's a quick thing. If they catch it and you say you took it down, we're good to go. If they send you a notice and you don't respond to them, then we get involved. And we really are educating you. We haven't necessarily really cracked down on these, but we are on repeat offenders. We are starting to crack down. So you will know if you add that, at least you'll be getting it from FieldWatch. And we do ask that you never make misleading or deceptive claims of any kind in your advertising. All claims, and this is straight from the FTC, all claims must be truthful and consistent with current official Scentsy literature, and all income claims must include the official income disclosure statement. And that can be found on your workstation. There's actually a really good, there's a video that our legal department did. That's how serious it is. So you can check it out in your workstation if you just look up income claims training. Yeah, and that's some really good information in there. But it is, again, it's one of those areas that's so easy to avoid. Let's just avoid it. Yeah. And everybody on TD, I know a lot of consultants will complain. They don't even mind attaching the disclosure, but they get upset because they're like, why do I have to put results may vary? Nobody notices that. I mean, if you check out ads, if you don't skip through all the ads on, when you're watching the television, you'll see it on so many things. I mean, you'll see it on weight loss products, especially, but any of those products, it'll have that on there. So people are so used to it. I don't know why that's a concern, but some people just don't like putting it. So we do ask that you do. Enough lecturing on that area. Lori, let's even get a little bit deeper into bonus buying.
This is a really good one too, and it's another one that the Federal Trade Commission requires us to make sure we are not allowing bonus buying to occur. With that being said, we do have, so I'm going to just read from the compliance guide to start this off. It says, never place orders for the sole purpose of achieving a title, a rank, an incentive, an award, or bonus. This is also known as bonus buying. And if you want more, you can go to chapter 4 of our standards. But let me just tell you a little bit about how that plays out with Scentsy. We are required by the Federal Trade Commission to run an internal report. And this report will give us names of consultants who might, it doesn't say for sure, but who might be either getting close to bonus buying or some of their product purchases might cause us to think that there might be some bonus buying going on. So with that report, we look at what the information shows, and there are some consultants that we will reach out to. And I share this with all of you just in case you happen to be one. We reach out and we say, hey, can you tell us what these orders were, why you purchased these orders? Because sometimes there's a lot of product going to a consultant's home. And it may appear that, well, are they doing, e-commerce sales? Is something like that going on? And so that's why we reach out to ask, what it's being used for. And when that happens, they'll come back and they'll say, oh, I'm doing a fair and I had to have a lot of product for that. We're like, oh, okay, that makes sense. But as we've talked about that, one of the things that would help is when you're putting in an order, if you will make the name of the order reflect what the product is for. Okay. Now, I don't want anybody to not sleep tonight thinking, oh my gosh, I'm going to get on that report. There's many different categories that you have to hit to get on that report. And again, that doesn't mean you're guilty. It just means we have to reach out and talk to you about your orders. But if you did something like, okay, I'm going to get really good and change this. Maybe you're doing the Virginia State Fair and you bought product for that. If you labeled that order as Virginia State Fair, then when we see it, that gives us an idea of what that product was being used for. Sometimes some of you I know like to make your own whiff boxes, and those are really cool. And so if you're buying product for the whiff boxes, you might label that as December whiff box product. That again tells us what that's being used for. So just anything that would help identify, especially if it's a big order that might maybe be a little misconstruing on what's happening there. That really helps if you just will title it the name of what it's being used for. Another thing that we wanted to suggest, and as you know, Tia's mentioned that we do the incentive audits. It's a lot of fun, isn't it, Tia? About 3 weeks usually, many hours a day checking things out. But hey, we have a good time because we're excited to see how many of you are going to come away with that incentive that we know you work so hard for. So on that, we also have another report, and it will show us who may have purchase product on a Frontlines account. So as you know, on those incentive trips, the qualifications, there's always going to be, you got to recruit X amount of people to get this amount of points. And not only do you have to recruit them, you have to get them to certified or sometimes even higher for more points. So if we see that someone is paying for orders on a Frontlines account that was recruited in the qualification period, then we're like, ooh, what was going on there? Was that a legitimate order, or was that used to help that person promote to certified? So in those situations, we are going to reach out. It could be totally innocent. There could be a reason for it, but we will reach out to ask about those orders. Now, I'm going to share with you this. We know that there may be a time when you do need to use a credit card on a Frontlines account or even just a consultant in general's account. That should be the exception and not the rule. And I'm going to give you an example because I know this happens. Sometimes you recruit somebody, you've done their launch party, you're at their house, you're putting the order in, and it gets to the end and got to have a credit card to pay for that order for the people that gave you cash or what have you. And that new consultant's husband is sitting there and he's kind of hearing what's going on, and he might not be so sure he wants to use their credit card for this purchase. And so you might be in this awkward situation of, ooh, I don't want to get him upset and I don't want to dampen the enthusiasm of my new recruit. What do I do? And so sometimes you will say, you know what? I'll just use my credit card. I'll pay for this order. Well, again, that's a good example of sometimes you get caught and you feel like, what can I do? If you do get in a situation like that, the best thing we can tell you to do would be to immediately reach out to compliance and just say, you know what, this happened tonight. I did pay for this order on my new Frontlines account, and here is the documentation that she reimbursed me. So if we can see that, yes, you did that, but she reimbursed you, so there was no wrongdoing, that will go a long way to clearing up that situation. And again, we know that's going to happen, but just let us know. We'll document it on your account. And then as we do the incentive audit, we're able to see that. And we're like, okay, that happened there. So just wanted to let you know about those with bonus buying, and just to be careful about that. But again, we're going to work with you. If we can get it resolved, we will. And, most of the time we do. It's just needing to find out what you're using your orders for. So with that, we are almost getting to the end. I know you guys were past the hour. We got just a few more minutes if you can bear with us. Tia gets to share with you the new standard, or the updated, or however you want to call it, Tia, the selling to other consultants standard.
Yeah. Hey, and on the bonus buying, Laura, I just want to add, I always say, like, the best advice we can give you is make sure you always have your receipts for all orders, with the exception of PWS. But whenever we contact you for bonus buying or an incentive audit, man, we can get those receipts from you right away. It's the quickest way for us to then get those kind of audits done, because I know the events team and everybody gets super excited to send out the list to everybody. So it really helps if you guys can keep those receipts handy. All right. Everybody's favorite new policy. So previously, our standards said we don't get involved. When consultants sell to consultants, we aren't even going to get involved. Well, that changed. And that changed when we added the consultant selling to other consultants policy. And that came out in August with the new standards. It can be found in Chapter 2 of the Compliance Guide. So this is a new policy that we added. And the philosophy behind this, and I think it's important to understand this because this was a rough one. I know that we upset a lot of consultants out there, and trust me, I was like arm wrestling all the execs. I was just like, please don't make us do this, but we're doing it. Yeah. So the philosophy behind this is we feel that the consultant that is actually selling to an end user, so a customer, they're the ones that deserve the commission. We don't want consultants running their business by way of selling to other consultants, right? We want to spread this worldwide. We don't want, people banking their business off of their downline members buying, or whoever buying from them. So here's the actual policy. When selling non-current catalog products, and that's the important part, non-current catalog products to other consultants, the price must be discounted to deduct the commissions earned. The sales price to other consultants is typically going to be around 75%, give or take, because you can charge for shipping to get it to them and that. And that's what we kind of came out with was, 75%. But actually in the compliance guide, and Chuck actually did a brilliant job on this because I just couldn't get it done. And it took forever. But there is some really good verbiage. There's detailed information and an actual formula for you to follow in the compliance guide, so you can determine the appropriate price that you must apply when selling non-current catalog items. Now, if you're selling catalog items, I'm not going to get involved in that unless there's some kind of missing customer order with the consultant, whatever. But non-current catalog items are the ones that we're interested in, okay? And because these transactions involve two consultants, right? So you got the buyer and you got the seller. Each one of those people has a responsibility to comply with this policy. So to get the discount, if I'm going to purchase it from, let's say, Lori, I must prove that I'm a current consultant. How am I going to do that? Sometimes they'll usually take your word for it, but you can show them, like take a picture of your active workstation dashboard if you want to do that. Now, if Lori decides, nope, I don't want to sell to you because yes, I have gotten commissions already, but guess what? I can still sell it at full price to a customer. I don't want to sell it. Then we need to respect that. No consultant is obligated to sell to another consultant. If they choose not to sell to a consultant and decide to keep the product to sell it to a customer, you just need to, please don't argue it. That's one of the complaints we've been hearing about is they're trying to do what's right and saying, nope, I don't want to sell to you. And then consultants get mad. It is their right. Okay. Now, if you identify yourself as a consultant and the selling consultant refuses to discount the product, but they're willing to sell it to you. Let's say they decide they're going to charge you the full retail price. The buying consultant, and this is the critical part, the buying consultant should not purchase the product. So if they say, I'll sell it to you at full price, but I'm not going to give you the commissions back, I'm not going to discount it, do not buy the product because we consider it a violation of both parties. It's the only way we're going to stop this from happening. I will tell you that this has been out there now since beginning of August, and I got my first report today, but the person reporting it was the person that bought it. So if they still choose, they're thinking about it. If they still choose and they want it to be a violation, I guess we'll be addressing that tomorrow. But we have been really excited that it's kind of been so smooth and it, kind of working itself out. And hopefully consultants just don't purchase as much. Those products that come out and they sell out in 15 minutes, that's great. It's great for business and everything. But we don't want you doing that thinking, there are times we understand where a consultant is going to purchase more for their downline. They already have that agreement, whatever, and that's fine. You still have to apply this, right? But we don't want people going out there and just buying 500 of this item because they just know they can sell it to other consultants. We have seen a slight decrease in those numbers, so that's a good thing. And less consultants are complaining that they weren't able to get it. So use the formulas that are out there, and let us know what you think about it. If you have any issues, just pick up the phone, give us a call. I think that's it, Laurie, unless we have some questions.
Yeah.
We have a couple of questions.
Okay.
The first 3 questions are speed questions. So you can only say yes or no.
No.
If you choose
sorry.
to accept the mission. Okay. So question number 1 for personal specials. Is Facebook Messenger okay? If
No.
you Facebook Messenger is not.
Oh,
okay.
Messenger.
Yes. Messenger. So private message on Facebook.
Oh, a
If you did-
PM?
Yes.
Sorry.
Yes, a private message is okay on Facebook. Yes.
Sorry, and I
Sorry,
was thinking more of I was thinking private group. So
yeah,
because we get
we had to
that,
stop.
that's
What?
a huge percentage of them. And trust me, if you have another consultant in your VIP group, somebody's going to turn somebody in. So sorry about that. But yes, if it's private message, it's kind of like a text.
Yeah.
Number 2, what about group chat, like Messenger?
That falls like with the VIP where it's not really the one-to-one and you can't control where it's going to go from there. Sorry, that was not a one, yes or no, but
That's a
no.
No.
Okay. Also for personal specials, can we post a picture of the product and say, message me for my personal special? Can you be as specific enough to say this is the product, that there's if it's just a picture, you're not saying it's this, but message me for personal special, and it's a picture of, the All-Aglow trees.
Yes, you can. Yes.
Sorry,
I would
Lloyd,
say
I
yes.
should let you take that.
Sorry, I would just, yes, you can, because you're not saying what you're selling it for.
Okay.
Is there anything more you want to add to that one, Tia?
Nope.
Okay, perfect. All right.
Next one, mystery host. Okay, not okay with a caveat. I'll allow extra words for this one.
No, mystery host is okay if you're selecting a mystery host.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mhm.
So how I actually, someone else asked this question, but I have been leery about mystery host myself because I feel like there could be a pay to play element to it. So what sets mystery host apart from pay to play?
Because mystery hosts, typically, you're going to get, and I could be wrong, this is the knowledge that I have. Mystery host is you're typically going to do the person that has the highest order. Is that right?
It's usually, so the way that I've done it in the past is everyone who purchases from this party goes into a drawing, and the person who, so the person who gets picked gets the host rewards.
So that's where you have to be really careful, because you're requiring them to make a purchase, right?
Yeah.
And they're being selected randomly.
Okay.
And that's why it typically, well, what we know, it typically used to be like the person that puts in the biggest order, or, whatever.
Okay.
And that's okay, because you're not doing it randomly.
So I kind of like that mystery element, I'm not going to tell you the prices that have been purchased, but whoever our biggest purchaser is gets this prize.
Yes.
That's a great spin on it.
Yes.
I have never
And you
heard.
don't want to be, don't advertise it that, oh, hey, and the person with the highest order is going to get you don't want to do that. They all want it, because you'll get more orders, obviously, if you don't say that. Yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, it's fine. And just so you know, we have been working on, but I know they've had some other things going on, the training department, but we are working on a specific, we used to have a poster and we wanted it out there because we know that the most confusing thing about mystery host is crossing the line to pay to play. And so we are working on a training for that.
So it's in the works. So,
Yep.
Okay. I feel like then that's probably a good, let's hold off and see what you guys come up with. And then so someone just posted, and she said she did mystery host and stated that purchases or not, everyone in the party has the same chance to win. Is that okay? So everyone who attends it on Facebook is what I'm assuming, if it's a Facebook party.
Now the caveat to that is because it said, usually we will never answer this. We will say, I need to see the ad.
Yeah.
So you're saying that it says whether you purchase or not.
Yes, that's what, yes.
Then you're fine, because you're not requiring them to purchase something.
But everyone's entered into a drawing, so that's okay.
But you're
Okay.
not requiring them to do it.
I still feel like the safest way to do it is to pick the highest person. Okay.
Yeah.
And then the last question that I captured was on bonus buying. And it says, what if you're a new consultant and you're just wanting to build up product on hand? Oh,
sorry.
You're
We
back.
want you to build have a healthy business practice going, and that's not always if you're buying a lot of product without a customer to sell that to. Now, we understand that sometimes you are going to have a little bit of product, and that's not a bad thing. You most generally aren't going to get on our internal report if you're just buying a little bit of product here or there. And you may have good intentions for that product. Maybe you were going to use it for a fair and show, and that fair and show got canceled because of COVID or something, and then you have all this product. So what we are just suggesting is make sure you have a purpose for it. If you're buying it for yourself, that's fine. We have I believe it's if 70% of what you purchase is for customers, that's fine, which leaves 30% that you could do. So there's a little bit of leeway there for it. But we would just encourage you that you not build your business on that premise of, oh, I've got to have a garage full of products so that I always have something on hand to sell to someone. So,
Right.
okay.
Yep, that's great. And just one last question. What are the guidelines if a consultant is part of more than one company? And what if that company is, say, a candle company? So it's a similar company. What are the rules that someone would have to follow to?
Can you ask that question again? I'm sorry, Casey, I missed the very beginning.
So what are the rules for cross promotion?
Oh.
And is there a rule about like how closely related the company is? So say it's a candle company, does that make, or Pink Zebra or something along that, does that make it worse?
It doesn't make it worse for cross promoting. Cross promoting is bad enough on its own.
Yeah.
So, and we haven't added this to our training. We are going to be adding inventory loading and some of these areas that you're talking about, but cross promoting, you absolutely don't want to cross promote. So we know that a lot of people use Facebook. Not all consultants want to use Facebook, and that's fine, but we usually address it that way because we know that it covers a majority of them, right? You do not, what you want is if you sell, and we know 99% of our consultants either work a full-time job or they sell for other DSAs. We love other DSAs. I love Pampered Chef, love Tupperware. So if you are doing that, you need to make sure the best recommendation would be you can have your private Facebook page or your personal Facebook page, right? And then your business Facebook page. And what you don't want is if you have Scentsy consultants on a page, it needs to be like kind of your Scentsy, your business page. Do not have them on your personal Facebook page if you're talking about other direct sales of any kind, whatever it is you're selling. We don't want to talk about. And now, if you knew the person before you joined Scentsy, you know, sister, mother, obviously you knew them before you joined Scentsy, then that's okay. You can have them on there, but please don't. It's one of the things I wish every consultant, when you first start off, if you're going to have a Facebook page, keep it separate from your personal. Just keep it separate. Because you'll have friends that are posting out there and stuff, and we don't want that. You know, if your friend's selling Tupperware and they're like, hey, you want to place an order with me? We don't want that going out there to all consultants. And the main reason is we don't want consultants to think we're trying to push this other product on them, right? And we don't want uplines, you know, downline members are like, oh, wow, now she's going to expect me to go to that party and she wants me to sell that too. Like, we don't want to do that. You know, we're here for Scentsy. If you do have a violation of cross promoting, first offense, you're going to have to make a choice. So we literally will say, if you're selling at Pink Zebra or Scentsy, you have to make a choice. And if you choose Scentsy, which we hope that you do, but if you choose Scentsy, you are going to have to provide proof that you have canceled your other account. And we don't want to do that. We know that it's your income. We don't want to hurt you. We just don't want to cross the two.
So
I love that. Thank you guys so much.
you
Thank
are so welcome.
So much. I feel like there's still a couple more questions coming in. I'm just going to say, guys, we're like way into this. So shoot, like Lori and Tia are waiting for you to call them. They can't wait. I would wait till tomorrow because it's probably a little late tonight. So give them a call if you have specific questions that we need to cover. I think that they would love to hear from you. And we're so grateful for you guys. Thank you for all that you do. Thank you for keeping us in business. Like literally, if you guys haven't taken anything away from this, realize that the work that Tia and Lori and their team do keeps us in business. You may have noticed there is a witch hunt for MLMs, and they'll take any chance that they can get to take us down. And these guys protect us and they make sure that we're taken care of. And so
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you
Yeah,
guys
yeah.
so much for all of your
Oh my
work.
gosh, thank you
Thank
guys so much
you.
for taking your time. We do know that what you do is what keeps us here in the office. And I've been here for almost 12 years. Lori's been here for 15. We appreciate you. And
So
I would not
much.
be here without all of you. And nobody on our team would, and we all feel that way. And our reps the day after training are like, yay, we're going to get calls. We have like 20 reps and we get 15 calls a day. Get the phones. Come on. Call us up. Don't wait. Yeah.
Who you
Awesome.
gonna call? Not Ghostbusters, but compliance. Sorry, it's getting late.
Yeah. But do we want to bridge that gap? We don't want, I mean, I hope this is the first of many conversations, but I want them to be positive, right? We don't want the first interaction with compliance for you to hear like violation, no matter what, that seems like a negative, right? So give us a call, ask us the question. We want to help you. Yeah.
Awesome. Love
Cool.
you guys so much.
All right, thank you so much.
Love
Hope
you.
you